any language, I imagine Chinese has this too, it's how you say something can affect the phrase. So if we look at our sheet, I wrote some polite phrases. Could you please? Could like Matt? Could you please help me versus help me?
But it could. I'm not trying to be total counterpoint here. But if somebody refuses to help you, you can find the best. Could you please help me?
That's a good point. It's that there is a time and place for everything in English, but that is. Could you? When I was a child at school, the teacher would say, I would ask, can I go to the bathroom? The teacher would say, can you? And I would have to say, may I please go to the bathroom?
Horrible training for life, too. It's not a good way to get ready for life.
So it's, but again, how you say something, like, may I have a glass of water versus, can I have a glass of water? It's, you can use them the same, but there's...
What's the difference? May I?
May I is more polite, I would say, but can I can work depending on how you say it. Can I get a glass of water versus, may I have a glass of water?
So,
it's like,
so may is the most polite. Can has actually both meanings. If you say, like Eric was saying, if I say, can I go to the bathroom, it has a meaning that denotes, it has a meaning of permission and a meaning of ability. So Eric's teacher was being mean, and she understood that he meant, can I have permission? Not, am I able to? Of course he's able to walk down the hall and to do that. But may will always be more polite. And as a general rule, right, you guys learn about modals in your English classes, modals. The more modals, the more polite it is. So the longer it is in English, the more polite, because you're softening it. So, may I have a glass of water, right? That's
may
polite.
I please have a glass of
May
water?
I please have a glass of water?
Versus, can I?
I was wondering if I may please have a glass of water.
I think in our first class, you mentioned, like...
Briefly, the thing about making it longer, what you said, yeah, just, you know, the longer the sentence, the softer and more polite it tends to be. But also, I would add that I think can is what you say when you assume that the answer is yes, right? Like, can I have a glass of water? It's like, I'm just letting you know that I'm going to go get a glass of water. I'm not just going to make you wonder what I'm doing when I stand up, right? I mean, among friends, I think it's more like that. May is like...
You're deferring to the other person.
You'll never have that among friends. Among close friends, you'll never use the word may, right?
It might sound weird, and I might be wondering, why are they being so polite? We're close friends.
Unless you have a big favor to ask them.
Oh.
So what if when we order in restaurants?
You can say that.
That sounds rude.
For a server, I would say no. But what do you
Yeah,
think?
for the servers.
So you're saying, can I have a, I would say I would like a, please is always the best choice. You know, because you're never going to go wrong with that.
Or could I please have? I would like.
That's, yeah. Just like, they're the server, right? So they're not going to say no to you. So if you ask them too much, even I noticed if you say thanks to the server too much, sometimes it feels weird. People look at you like, we're in a restaurant, calm down. You know? But
the other end of that is the host would say, would you like? Or, can I get you?
that's a polite host. Oh, host or server?
Like if I'm at Shing's house and she said, can I get you a glass of water? Would you like? Both are, I would say both are okay.
Right.
The next one I have here is, do you mind if I smoke versus just lighting up your cigarette without saying anything?
Times have changed. You still just light up your
And one thing I've noticed, do you mind if I, and in English we say, yes, I mind, to no, I don't want you to smoke. No, I do not want you to smoke. Or no, I don't mind.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
It's
Between English and
opposite.
Chinese, English and Korean also.
Do you mind if I borrow your pen?
Yes, I do mind using it.
Yeah, but then you have to do what you just did. You have to really soften the blow. You have to make it like, oh, no problem. Because if you go, yes, I do mind, it's like the end of, they're not going to come back and ask you for anything for a long time.
And often, a time word can soften it. Like if I ask William, can I borrow your car for an hour? Rather than, can I borrow your car?
All right,
How long am I going to take his car for?
Build on that idea. Does everybody know what I have to say? What should I really say to that question? There's a correct answer also using time. Take as long as you want, right? If he asked me for a specific amount of time, I should offer more time. I should say, yeah, take as long as you want. I think. Am I wrong? That's how I would be polite in return, instead of being like, yes, you can have it for 1 hour and make sure that you're back here at...
What if you have to use your car after that 1 hour?
Then you just tell them. You just like, well, okay, listen, I have something to do at 5 o'clock, so can you be back by then? Something like that.
So just make no response, but just say the truth. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Unless you have to be telling them, unless you have to lie.
Yeah.
When does that happen? You're going to talk about that later, right? The white lie.
Yeah, that I do have that in here. So now the next one I have is excuse me versus hey you.
Me?
Like hey you.
You talking to me?
That can also work. It might be a police officer who's trying to arrest you and they want, hey you, what are you doing?
All right.
Versus.
What about if you forgot someone's name, like, hey,
excuse me, miss.
Miss?
Miss.
You talking to me?
No.
Okay. How do you this is something I'm very bad at. I forget names all the time. I'm horrible with names. It takes me like 5 times to learn a name. Except rarely. There's just some names that stick and some that don't. And when you forget somebody's name, what do you say? Do you say, I'm sorry, I forgot your name? To me, that's always felt like an inherent insult.
Like the other person wasn't important enough for you to remember that.
I'd hate to admit it. So what I always try to do is I try to wait. Oh, I heard it. And as soon as I hear it the second time, I got to find some way to remember it. Sometimes, but what do you do if you forget someone's name? Do you say, hey, hey, how do you call on somebody you need to get their attention, but you don't remember their name? Is there a polite or a wrong way to do that? Because it's just a bad situation to begin with.
Just say, how are you?
How are you?
Who are you?
How are you? I mean, where are you?
Oh, I know.
Just start a conversation with greetings.
How are you? Okay, but in all situations, will that work?
If you're not call someone or?
Oh, not call somebody. I mean, like call somebody out. Which.
Yeah, I know. You just want to say out the name, but you forget it. So how to deal with it? Just say how are you and start a conversation.
So what I have 2 strategies.
I love it. I'm gonna start using that.
I've thought through this. Sometimes I just confess that I have a bad memory, and I'll say, I'm terribly sorry, but I don't remember your name. And then to soften it, this is what you do. To soften it. Then the other person says their name, like, oh, my name's William. And then you say, that's what I thought.
I think maybe I have an
I like
idea.
that
We can first say, hi, how are you? My name is. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
they may tell you what
But
their
if you've
name.
already met them, then you can't reintroduce yourself.
But if you take the active, like we've already met, right? And ask her, by the way, I'm William. Like, what are you gonna say? Are you
Hi,
gonna say?
I'm sorry, we gotta go. Maybe it's like non-stop. Yeah. So.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Nice meeting you guys. Bye. Bye.
I think "how are you" actually has a surprising potential to it, because you're gonna turn something like "how are you?" They're gonna go.
One strategy that I've employed, and I guess this works more with an international friend, could be like, how do you write your name? Like, how do you spell your name?
Well, that does work. Yeah, that does work.
Or like, oh, what character is it? Like shell or like, and then they and then you remember their name, right?
Yeah.